Hey everyone, Michael Phoenix, founder and staff member here, and I just wanted to. I've had something up for the past probably year or year and a half, and it's asking people to submit their stories if they've survived suicide or they've had a loved one who unfortunately hasn't, or they've been affected by suicide in any way, shape, or form. And like Violence, the real stories. Even it's been almost 9 years, but in May of 2010, I am the survivor of a suicide attempt. It wasn't mental illness, depression was a part of it, but a main cause of it was just something that I believe everyone in their life has a certain set of events that could have that could happen. That's just too, where that lead that makes them hit their final breaking point. That happened with me where in 2007 October, my wife passed away. The trailer we lived in caught fire. Lost almost everything. You know, not financially, but the memories and the memories, the objects, etc. The plastics factory I worked at closed down, and for myself, yes, it was the depression of my wife passing away, but it was just, and a few other things, it was just too much where I'm like, I'm done. It's over. I can't fight anymore. I have nothing left to fight with. Uh, if you look through history, back in the Depression, people jumped out of windows when the stock market crashed because they believed that everything that everything that they worked for and earned was gone. Um, and how I did it was I took 32 went to a convenience store, picked up 2 boxes of sleeping pills, and took 32 sleeping pills in 10 minutes. The only thing I remember about it, honestly, is pretty much laying down on the couch and starting to go numb, starting in my feet. And I remember pretty much about half, up to my knees, about halfway up my legs, and that was it. I was out. Uh, the only thing I can tell you about what I experienced when I was under is pretty much what the Catholics would call purgatory, or what everybody else would call hell. Skeletons, corpses, gray sky, just an absolute silence, just everywhere. Um, just death. Period. That was it. That was all I remember about what I experienced. Some people, we're in 2019, our modern society where almost nothing is taboo or, you know, in the dark anymore. Suicide is still one of those subjects that still pretty much is. I've asked politicians about it, like asked some local candidates here in Allentown this year, and it's, no matter what level of government, that's one of my key questions is, have you attended or do you plan on attending an Out of the Darkness walk for suicide prevention? I did attend the one in Lehigh Valley for 2 or 3 years, and in 2018 I had the privilege and honor of volunteering for and covering the overnight Out of the Darkness walk in Philadelphia. And almost a year later, I still get chills every time I see the photo of the luminaries on the steps of the art museum. But, and to be completely honest with you, have I thought about it since then, back in 2010, 11, and 12? Yeah. I think once you've been there, it's always more of a possibility than other people. Will I ever try it again? Hell no. No. Been there, done that. but and the causes are numerous to say the least. With teenagers and kids, could be bullying, could be their parents breaking up, could be a lot, grandparent that died that they were very close to. With adults, yes, adults get bullied. Could be discrimination, prejudice, losing your job. Some people, they lose their job, everything they've worked for and fought for in their life, their spouse leaves them. Mental illness, depression, obviously, but there's always, you don't know what could trigger even serious thoughts about it. And there are people out there, honestly, that just for some reason feel that they're not getting enough attention, and that they do it as almost as an attention grab, or even sometimes as a joke. But I'm talking about for the people who seriously consider and think about suicide. Trust me, it's not the easy way out. You affect a lot more lives than what you may believe. You have an impact on a lot more people than what you may even remotely consider. Yes, like every other part of life, it's a choice. And by the way, I don't like being in front of the camera. This is one of the very obscenely few times where I wanted to be. So, and I try to carry over the suicide prevention into my media, because there's a lot of ways lives are pointlessly lost in our world, in our society. Violence, but suicide is definitely one of the top for pointless life loss. Please go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That is the best source for, if you're considering it. There are hotlines out there. If you if you want to help people, please be careful. Don't just say, if you know someone's seriously committing suicide, or even you have a feeling something's not right, oh wow, don't worry about it, things will get better. Except, I'm sorry, that line of bullshit rarely works. Just, if you do want to help people who, especially families of people that have lost, families and friends that have lost people to suicide, just check out, do a little bit of research on how to approach them, etc. Because if you follow the typical shiny, happy person, optimist bullshit, you may actually do more harm than good. Thank you to the sponsors. Please go to Thanks to Sponsors page and help and support those people and businesses. The reason why through Sarah Vilsa's and his predecessor, Valley and Beyond, can hopefully make a difference in our society and people's lives. To everybody out there, thank you very much for all the support. You're the other half of why I keep doing this to the best and worst. Spring this year, at least in the northern hemisphere, it's getting, in Atlantic Valley, the temperature's supposed to increase to 70s over the weekend. Get out and enjoy it. No matter how bad things may get in your life, sometimes the smallest things can make a difference.